In this video, we're going to take a look at the week 3 assignment, which is creating data displays. All that really means is creating graphs that can communicate the information in each column. If I read the column out to you and just was reading numbers, it's very difficult to track or come up with any type of pattern. So what we like to do is create visuals that will show the data and also highlight any patterns that are available. So in order to do that, we're going to go to the top to graphs, and then we're going to go into the chart builder. Now there are other ways to get to this menu, but this is the one that I think is the most helpful. So once we're in chart builder, you're just going to say OK to the dialog. There are all these different types of charts. So the first one I want to explore is a bar chart. A bar chart looks like this first picture when we're looking at things for our doctoral. We don't typically tend to use these other two bars. What a bar chart does a really good job of telling us is categorical information. So things that are lumped into categories where we're looking at how often they were given and not what percent. So I can't be looking at what percent of people have a college education if I'm looking at a simple bar chart. A simple bar chart could tell me, if I look at academic track, it could actually tell me how many people are in each academic track. So not a percentage, but an actual count. And that's what is really important here. And so we can do that. Then we can also do things like gender, things like grades, because they're letter grades. And so we don't necessarily need to have variables. And you're able to see once you click on the grades, it is telling us what the options are here. And the really nice piece about doing this in SPSS is it's automatically, if you've coded your data correctly, it is going to automatically generate with the information on it, like half BC, mostly B, half AB. So that's really the differentiating factor here, is that we're able to go ahead and do that. Now, if I want to reset things and I say, okay, here's a bar graph, you'll notice the window on the left goes away. That was from me messing around in there a little bit earlier. And then we're able to select the bar chart. Now, let's say we have a data set that has a decimal. If it has a decimal, a bar chart isn't going to make sense because bar charts are only for whole numbers or categories. So something like here at the bottom, motivation is a scale answer, meaning it has decimals. So when we code it into our SPSS and we say, hey, this has decimals, it's a continuous thing, then that's how we know that, yes, we can utilize that. When that is the case, a histogram is your best bet. A histogram would be a simple histogram. We don't want to visit the stacked. We would typically use a simple histogram, and that's how we would proceed with this. Now, the other piece we see in the homework is a frequency polygon. A frequency polygon is not as clear as a histogram, but it's very helpful when there are ebbs and flows or mountains and valleys to the data. So if a student was taking a pre and post test, then that could be helpful seeing the evolution of their scores over time. So frequency polygons are great for looking at things over time. Or if you have a data set that has a lot of high and low values, it'll just kind of track what those high and low values are. Once you're in there, you can do some things with the basic elements. You can do some advanced stuff, but we're not really going to visit that in this class. And then there are the other options, and you can add in titles and footnotes. So this is kind of a basic walkthrough of what the graph options are for the assignment, how to choose the correct graph options. In your results write-up, you don't write up a formal results write-up like we will in our other assignments. You're just answering the question, for this variable, what graph did you choose? Did you choose a bar, a histogram, and or a frequency polygon? And then why did you choose that coordinating graph? So that's the actual write-up portion, and you'll look at the next video to see the SPSS way to create those graphs.